Episode 1: The Glowing Discovery and the Whispering Leaves. In the small town of Greenwood, Jamie, a boy with an endless curiosity, loved collecting shiny stones. One day, he found a unique stone that glowed and shimmered in different colours, except for one stubborn dark mark. He placed it with his other stones, thinking it was just another pretty addition to his collection. One quiet night, as the moon cast a soft light through his window, Jamie woke up suddenly. He heard something, a faint whisper, S-O-I-L. At first, Jamie felt a shiver of fear. Was that a voice? He thought. His room looked the same, but the air felt different, almost like it was humming with a secret. Jamie, clutching his blanket, peered around his room. His heart beat fast, but his curiosity was even faster. It pushed away his fear, making him want to find out more. "It's just a whisper," he told himself, "and I want to know what it's saying." His fear turned into a thrilling sense of adventure. He leaned closer to his stone collection, trying to hear the whisper again, but everything was silent. "Which one of you talked?" Jamie whispered. He looked at each stone, but they just sat there, still and silent. Jamie decided to try different things. He picked up each stone and held it, waiting for the whisper. When he reached the glowing stone with the dark mark, he paused. It felt warmer than the others, and seemed to flicker slightly in the moonlight. "Is it you?" Jamie asked. He held it close and waited. Nothing happened. Jamie felt a mix of disappointment and determination. "I'll find out your secret," he promised the stone. Night after night, Jamie experimented with the glowing stone. He placed it in different spots around his room, talked to it, and even sang to it. But the stone remained silent. Jamie's patience was tested, but he didn't give up. He knew there was something special about this stone, and he was going to discover it. Then, on a particularly clear night, Jamie had an idea. "What if you like being outside?" he wondered. He took the stone out under the moonlight. Suddenly, the whisper returned, clearer this time. "Soil!" Jamie's eyes widened with excitement. "You want to be planted!" he exclaimed. He wasn't scared anymore. His curiosity had led him to this moment, and he felt like a detective solving a big case. He found a pot and filled it with soil from his backyard. Carefully, he placed the stone on top and watered it. Each night, he put the pot under the moonlight, watching and waiting. His creativity and persistence paid off. One cool evening, a tiny sprout emerged from the soil. The plant glowed, just like the stone. Jamie was amazed and proud. "I knew you were special," he told the plant. As the tree grew, so did the whispers. They became more frequent, though still unclear, like a distant conversation muffled by time and space. Jamie knew the tree was trying to communicate, and he listened with all his might. He spent every moment he could by the tree, attuning himself to its frequency, learning to understand the patterns in its whispers. Then, on one cool, starry night, as Jamie sat with his ear pressed gently against the tree's glowing bark, it happened. The whispers coalesced into a clear but enigmatic message, a gentle but urgent voice that only Jamie could hear. "Jamie," it said, "I am known as the Guardian Tree, a keeper of ancient wisdom and protector of this land. A darkness threatens to overwhelm us, and I seek your help. Unfortunately, I cannot provide more specifics. You must trust your heart and courage to guide you on this path." Jamie, with his heart racing with excitement and a bit of fear, realized that the tree was inviting him to step into a world of unknowns, a realm beyond his wildest imaginations. "But how will I know what to do?" Jamie asked, his voice trembling slightly. "The path will reveal itself to you, Jamie. Your heart and intuition are more powerful than you realize. They will guide you where you need to go," the tree responded, its voice like a soft melody. "And when you wish to return, simply think of your home, and the way shall be opened." With a deep breath, Jamie touched the vibrant leaf. The world around him melted away, and he found himself standing at the threshold of an adventure, the likes of which he had only ever dreamed. He stepped forward, his heart filled with a mix of excitement, apprehension, and determination, ready to embrace the adventures that lay ahead. As Jamie stepped through the portal, the guardian tree's whispers echoed in his mind. Welcome, Jamie, to the journey of a lifetime. Follow your heart, and it will lead you through the darkness. Jamie, filled with resolve and a newfound sense of purpose, stepped forward into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges awaited with the knowledge that he could return to his own world when he was ready. Episode 2: The Talking Creatures. In the enchanting world beyond the portal, where the trees whispered secrets of old, Jamie's adventure continued. He had just stepped through the vibrant leaf, a gateway created by the once small and now ever mysterious guardian tree. As Jamie ventured deeper into the forest known as Whispering Meadows, he remembered the tree's whispers from before, urging him to listen and observe. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers and the soft chatter of the forest's inhabitants. Whispering Meadows was alive with magic, a place where every leaf seemed to dance and every breeze carried a story. The first creature Jamie encountered in Whispering Meadows was a squirrel with fur as rich as autumn leaves. The squirrel, named Albie, was known for its wisdom and kindness, but today Albie was in distress. "Albie, what's wrong?" Jamie asked, noticing the squirrel's worried expression. "It's my nuts, Jamie," Albie replied, his tiny paws ringing together. "They've vanished, and among them was a magical nut essential for the forest's balance." Jamie knelt down, his eyes level with Albie's. "Show me where you last saw them," he said firmly, ready to help. Together, they set off through the whispering leaves and mystical pathways of the magical forest, determined to restore balance to Whispering Meadows. At the sight, Jamie noticed the odd little tracks. "Look, Albie, these aren't from any animal I know. Let's follow them." Together, they devised a plan to recover the nuts. Jamie carefully crafted small, harmless traps from the forest's gifts. As the moon rose, casting a soft glow over their hiding spot, a small, shimmering creature approached one of the traps. The trap gently closed around it, and the creature let out a surprised squeak. Jamie and Albie approached cautiously. "Hello there," Jamie greeted, his voice soft but firm. "We don't want to hurt you. We just want to know why you took Albie's nuts." The creature, a tiny forest sprite, looked up with bright, remorseful eyes. I just loved the glow. I didn't mean any harm," it squeaked in a voice as delicate as the wind. Jamie nodded, understanding. "That nut is very important to the forest. It keeps everything in balance. Can you take us to where you've kept it?" The sprite nodded, its tiny form glowing faintly. "I'm sorry, I keep shiny things. I didn't know it was so important. Follow me." The sprite led them to its hidden trove, where the nuts and various treasures sparkled in the moonlight. Jamie carefully collected the nuts, handing the magical one back to Albie. "Thank you," Albie said, relief in his voice. "You've saved the forest, Jamie." "And you," Jamie turned to the sprite. "Thank you for showing us where they were. Maybe next time, ask before taking something, okay?" The sprite nodded vigorously. I will. I learned my lesson. Thank you for being kind." After resolving the issue with Albie's nuts and the sprite, Jamie continued his journey through the magical forest. The path, dappled with light, soon led him to a clearing where a kaleidoscope of butterflies fluttered in confusion. Jamie watched, fascinated, as the butterflies moved in a chaotic dance. One, with wings like the dawn sky, drifted closer. "Hello," it said with a soft musical voice. "We're lost. A tricky spirit confused our path, and now we can't find our way home." Jamie crouched down, extending a hand. "I'm Jamie. Tell me about your home. Maybe I can help you find it." The butterfly landed gently on Jamie's hand. It's a place of warm sunlight and sweet flowers, but everything looks different now. We're so tired and just want to go home. Jamie thought for a moment. Let's try to figure this out together. I've learned a lot about listening and observing. Maybe there's a way to guide you home. Together, they discussed landmarks and the direction of the sun. Jamie drew a simple map in the dirt with a stick. I think your home is this way, he said, pointing. But we'll need to make sure. Let's try following this path. The butterflies, their hope renewed, fluttered around Jamie. Thank you, Jamie, they chimed in unison. We trust you. As they travelled, the butterflies shared stories of the places they'd seen and the flowers they loved. Jamie listened, his heart light with the joy of helping his new friends. Finally, after following the sun and the landmarks they'd discussed, the butterflies recognized a field blooming with flowers. This is it! This is our home! They exclaimed, their voices a chorus of relief and joy. You did it, Jamie, the dawn-wing butterfly said, alighting on his shoulder. You listened and helped us when we were lost. We are so grateful. Jamie smiled, a sense of accomplishment filling him. I'm just glad I could help. You taught me about the beauty of your journey and the places you've seen. I'll never forget that. As the butterflies fluttered around their beloved flowers, Jamie waved goodbye. Safe travels, my friends. Remember, if you ever get lost again, use the sun and the landmarks to guide you. We will, Jamie, they called back, and you're always welcome here, in our home of sunlight and flowers. With a heart full of new friendships and the satisfaction of a problem well solved, Jamie continued down the path, ready for the next adventure the magical forest had in store. The trees whispered his name, and the wind carried his story far and wide, a tale of a boy who listened, helped, and understood. Episode 3: The Maze of Miracles. Jamie stood at the entrance of the Maze of Miracles, his heart thumping with both excitement and a bit of fear. Here goes nothing, he said, stepping into the twisting paths lined with towering hedges. Not long into the maze, Jamie encountered his first challenge. A flower stood before him unlike any he had seen before. Its petals were a deep, almost murky shade of purple, and it wore a smile that seemed just a little bit mischievous, almost cunning. Jamie felt a tingle of doubt. Can I trust it? He wondered. Solve my riddle for a clue, the flower said with a giggle that didn't quite reach its eyes. I'm tall when I'm young and short when I'm old. What am I? Jamie looked at the flower, its dark petals giving off an almost gloomy aura. He felt uneasy, the flower's smile seeming more sly than friendly. But he focused, thinking hard about the riddle. You get shorter as you age, he murmured to himself. Then, in a moment of clarity, it clicked. A candle. As soon as the word left his mouth, a remarkable transformation occurred. The flower's petals burst into a vibrant array of colours, shifting from the dark, almost sinister purple to bright, cheerful hues. Its smile, previously unsettling, now radiated warmth and sincerity. Correct, the flower exclaimed, its voice now clear and jubilant. It clapped its petals together, which now shimmered with a gentle, inviting light. Go right, and good luck. Jamie, relieved and a bit amazed at the change, thanked the flower and proceeded in the direction it indicated. He glanced back once, seeing the flower still shining brightly, a beacon of warmth in the twisting maze. With a new sense of confidence and curiosity, Jamie continued his adventure, ready for the next challenge. Several turns later, Jamie found himself at a dead end. Oh no, not again, he groaned. He tried to retrace his steps but got turned around, ending up at the same spot. This is impossible, he muttered, feeling his spirits dip. Just then, a small, wise creature appeared. Lost, are we? It asked. Its fur was a mix of earthy browns and greens, blending seamlessly with the maze around them. Its eyes, bright and knowing, gazed up at Jamie. I'm Milo, the guardian of this maze. I know it well. Milo was a curious species, resembling a cross between a hedgehog and a squirrel, with quills along its back and a bushy tail that flickered with every emotion. Milo led Jamie to a gate with symbols. We must match these symbols to open the gate. I remember some, but not all. Jamie looked at the symbols, then at the surroundings. Let's analyze this. The sun symbol might mean east, and the water drop could mean the fountain to the west. Working together, they matched the symbols to the right directions, and the gate creaked open. As they progressed, they faced a section where paths changed randomly. Jamie felt his frustration rise again. It's like it knows where we want to go and keeps changing. Milo patted his shoulder. Remember, every problem has a solution. Let's observe first. They watched how the paths changed and found a pattern. Now, Milo said, when the next path opens, we run. Their timing was perfect and they made it through. They reached a chamber where walls echoed their words. Echo the truth to pass, a voice boomed. Jamie shouted, I am Jamie. But nothing happened. Milo whispered, it's not about who you are, but what we are. Jamie nodded, understanding. Together they shouted, we are friends. The walls shivered, and a new path opened. As Jamie and Milo stood before the large stone door, the final barrier to their freedom, they pondered the riddle inscribed upon its surface. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I? The answer seemed to dance just out of reach. Jamie furrowed his brow in thought. It's something that's not really alive, but seems to be, he mused. Suddenly, Milo's eyes sparkled with realization. An echo, he exclaimed. Together, they whispered echo to each lock, and one by one, they clicked open, revealing the path to the center of the maze. As the door swung open, a distant, eerie howl echoed through the corridors, sending a shiver down Jamie's spine. It was faint and unclear, more a whisper of the wind than a definite sound, but it left Jamie with an uneasy feeling. Did you hear that? He asked, turning to Milo, who looked equally puzzled. Before they could ponder it further, a remarkable transformation began. The cold, dark atmosphere of the maze started to dissipate, replaced by a warm, golden light emanating from the walls themselves. The oppressive feeling that had hung over them lifted, and in its place was a sense of peace and warmth. In the center, they discovered a beautiful garden, alive with the colors and sounds of nature. The maze itself seemed to awaken, its voice now gentle and grateful. You've shown the power of friendship and wisdom. You are free, it declared. As Jamie prepared to leave, Milo looked at him with a hint of sadness. I'm the guardian of this maze. My place is here, but you, Jamie, your journey continues. Take my blessings and best wishes with you. The maze, too, expressed its gratitude. My secrets are my own, but your actions have brought light back to this place, it said cryptically. Then, from the heart of the maze, a drop of warm light, a gift from the maze itself, floated and gently touched Jamie's forehead. It melted into his skin, and instantly his mind felt clearer, sharper. He could almost sense the right paths before taking them, a gift that would aid him in future challenges. Remembering the talking flower from earlier and the strange howl they'd heard, Jamie couldn't shake the feeling that something abnormal was happening within this world. There's more to this place than meets the eye, he whispered to Milo, who nodded in agreement. They said their farewells, and as Jamie stepped out of the maze, holding the shimmering feather and feeling the warm light's clarity in his mind, he felt a mix of triumph and curiosity. He had overcome the challenges with Milo's help, but the mysteries of this world were far from solved. His story whispered through the trees, a tale of a boy who faced his fears with patience and turned them into triumph with the help of a friend. And as he looked back at the maze, now glowing softly in the daylight, Jamie knew this was just the beginning of his adventures. In the next part, we will continue to delve deeper into valiant efforts, where greater challenges and deeper connections await. Episode 4 sees Jamie cleansing the murky waters of Sunlit Valley. Then, Episode 5 takes him on a skyward quest to understand the true extent of darkness spreading across the land, and Episode 6 confronts him with his deepest fears. Together, with the help of newfound friends and the spectral blade, Jamie learns about the power of hope, unity, and inner strength in the face of looming shadows. Stay tuned as our adventure unfolds into realms of bravery and friendship that illuminate even the darkest paths.